come for you. You're rough and living strange, and I know you got a taste for it too. They'll never forgive you, but they won't let you go. She'll never forgive you, but she won't let you go. Oh no! Don't look back into the sun. You cast your pearls, but you're on the run. On all the lies you said, who did you say? Then they played that song at the dead disco. It started fast, but it ends so slow. And all the time just reminded me of you. They'll never forgive you, but they won't let you go. Let me go! She'll never forgive you, but she won't let you go. Oh no!
Hearts have been known to hamper Celtic's title charge in the past. Remember Austin McCann's goal 2 seasons ago? But that was Hearts' only defeat of Celtic in the last 20 games, so the defending champions certainly hold the upper hand. Don't expect the exchange of season's greetings between these two. This is a match both badly want to win. Will it be jovial jambos at Tynecastle today? Or will Celtic have festive fun and again stretch their SPL lead? Here's the way it is among the top 12 at Christmas time. One thing nearly everyone seems to agree on is that Hearts should stay at Tynecastle, always a great football venue. The home team want to close in on another third-place finish. Celtic, like Hearts, out of Europe, plan to strengthen their hold on SPL top spot. Let's try that one again for the hard of hearing. Here's to the Bank of Scotland Premier League, with just that single-point difference between Celtic and Rangers at the top. Hearts in 6th place, much lower than they would expect to be at this stage, and looking to close that 7-point gap which currently exists between them and Aberdeen in 3rd spot. You're invited to a Boxing Day bash, and it might just come to that at Tynecastle, with both Hearts and Celtic totally focused on picking up the points. Those two have a head start on the other 10 in the SPL who will play tomorrow. And talking of head starts, Craig and I have kept ourselves clear of Christmas temptation and hangover-free in the interests of television professionalism. How did that sound?
That was a very good lie there, Rob. But some of us have. But looking forward to today's game, I have to say.
Should be good today, shouldn't it? Yeah,
we got a poor game last week at Rugby Park, so this one's got all the makings of a good game, especially at Tynecastle, where Hearts have been strong this season. They've got one of the best records I was reading earlier in British football. They've only lost 1 game at home in the SPL this season, so traditionally at home they are difficult to beat. But it'll be a big test for them today. But they've got a good squad of players, and John Robertson has to start getting results.
You did have a quiet day yesterday by the sounds of that, didn't you? Let's have a look at the Hearts lineup then for Boxing Day against Celtic. And here's what John Robertson will do. Andy Webster and Patrick Kisnorbo will be notable absentees, both suspended, and Graham Weir drops down to the bench. 3 changes from the side which lost to Ferencvaros. That was their last game, of course, with a match at Livingston last weekend. Frozen out. Dennis Wyness back in from the start. Kevin McKenna as well, he'll partner Stephen Presley at the back. And Phil Stamp returns to the team as well after injury.
Yeah, I mean, McKenna will come in for Webster at the back, Rob. It'll be a back 4. They play with 2 holding players in midfield. It'll be Hartley and Stewart. Stamp and McAllister, the other midfielders, don't play wide. They'll play narrow with Wyness in front of them, just in behind the lone striker of Mark De Vries. That's the way John Robertson likes to play it. That's getting bodies forward from midfield, playing narrow in midfield to allow the full-backs to get forward. He doesn't like to play with 2 up, and he sees this as a better way of getting a winning game.
The big news in the Celtic lineup today is that this man is back in from the start. Rab Douglas will play in goals. Magnus Hedman is ill. David Marshall on the bench. Some might have thought that Marshall would have been the heir apparent with Hedman out of action. But Marshall on the bench and Rap Douglas starts in goal. Might that be as a prelude to his sale from Celtic? Lots of speculation that he will move on, unable to get a regular place. The other change in the side is Ulrich Larsson, a bit more predictably replacing Jos Valgaeren at left back. Still no Agat, still no Pearson, but Rab's back.
Yeah, it's a strange one coming in from really third choice, Rob Douglas, and Marshall still on the bench, but it'll be probably a straight 4-4-2 for Martin, with young McGeady, who's been their top player. He can play either on the left or on the right, so he has got options in midfield, because Thompson can play in the middle if McGeady plays on the left, or Petrov can play in the middle if McGeady plays on the right-hand side. So he has got options up there, and the big two up front, obviously with John Hartson being the main talking point, scoring the goals and still not signed a new contract.
John Robertson will have a go, not much doubt about that, not lacking in confidence. He'll throw everything at Celtic today at Tynecastle, you'd imagine. Here he is talking pre-match with Scott Booth.
John, I won today would take you to 5th place. Is that the only motivation the team need to go in this game today?
3 points in every game is a motivation. It's the first motivation, and the fact that it's the champions and the current league leaders here adds even more spice to it. But no, we've set our stall out since we've arrived at the club that we want to try and win every match that we're playing, and it starts today again in Celtic.
Now, how are you going to approach the game today? Are you going to do anything differently?
No, we're going to play the same way we've played in the last few weeks. We'll have a strong back four, our normal defensive lineup, apart from Kevin will come in to replace the suspended Andy Webster. We'll have 2 midfield men in Stuart Hartley, and we'll have 4 forwards on the park again, and Stamp, Wyness, De Vries and McAllister.
What exactly is the thinking behind that, John?
Well, we want to be attacking. We want to go and entertain the public. We want to go and play good football, but get people forward and get people at the box. You know, we feel that you can come in and sit against Celtic in matches. We feel we've got to go and try and win the match, and the only way you can win games is to go forward and score. 3-2 in the end, and you know, at least the players had a real go at one of the Old Firm, and that's what we intend to do again today.
Now, you have not scored as many goals as you'd like this season. Is that going to be something you'll have to try and account for in the transfer window? Well,
goal scorers are hard to find unless you've got a lot of money, and we've got to go and make do what we've got. As we say, we've got players who can score goals, but the important thing for us now is to get the style of play right. We're strong at the back, and we have been, and we want to pass the ball better. We want to get ball in the box and play some really good football, and it'll be a real measure to how far we've come so quickly in the game today.
Now, that's been a stable team for a good few years now. Is it a worry to you that so many players are now out of contract at the end of the season? Yeah, of course it is. You know, Craig's had a real backbone of 8 or 9 players, and there's about 5 or 6 of them out of contract. And you know, there's still a lot of uncertainty about over the change of ownership at the club and what we can and can't offer deals with. You know, it's difficult. But in fairness, we've spoken to about 7 or 8 of the 14 players, and a lot of them are hedging their own bets. So it's, you know, it's a catch-22. We can't do anything until we know what we've got, and the players don't want to do anything until they see how the change of ownership is going to affect the club. And some of them are just sitting out in January to see if there's better on offer elsewhere. So that's football. We'll deal with it as best we can in January and take the club forward from there. Is there a way that could actually be a positive in a certain way, that everyone is, you know, still playing for contracts, so to speak? Well, yes and no. You know, I would think that the guys who are going to be going elsewhere, they'll already, their agents will probably have done the deals, or they're waiting just to dot I's and cross T's with other things. But we can't let that affect us. You know, we want every player on the pitch today to do their best for Heart Northern Football Club, and we want a passionate display, but we want a display punctuated with good football. John, thanks very much. Thank you.
John Robertson's Hearts tend not to give much away at home at all, and you would expect them to be a tough test for Celtic this afternoon. John made mention there of the match against Rangers a month ago at Ibrox, in which Hearts did well, and at the end of it all would consider themselves very unfortunate not to have got anything out of this, and especially here, Craig, where I think John still harbours some injustice that Boomsong wasn't sent off.
Yeah, looking at that now, I mean, at the time, when I first seen it, I thought it was a yellow, but it's definitely for me now a red card, because it was a goal-scoring opportunity. De Vries just about to pull the left trigger there and volley it in. We see Paul Hartley scoring from the penalty spot, but John was on the programme a few weeks ago and said Hearts had played very, very well in this game, and felt a wee bit unfortunate. An own goal here from McAllister, Rob, and
that was right on half-time as well, and psychologically that might have been a blow to Hearts.
And if Rangers had been down to 10 men as well, that might have helped. But that's a great ball from Caithness-Vela here, and Novo gets in. It was in great scoring form. But it was a terrific match, and they proved, Hearts, that they can go to a club like Ibrox and put on a performance. We hope to see that today from Hearts at home, but nevertheless they certainly matched Rangers this day and were probably a wee bit unfortunate not to get something out of the game.
Yeah, I mean, they got ahead, then they were 2-1 down, and, well, some might have expected them to crumble at that point. No chance, and Mark de Vries heading in the goal, which made it 2-2, and at that point you wondered whether Hearts were going to wreck Rangers' title chances.
Well, he was a handful all day, wasn't he, de Vries, and that's why he's coveted by a few clubs. Great ball from Stephen Hughes there, and Nacho Novo with a free header at the back post. But de Vries was a real handful for Rangers that day, and that'll be why Hearts are trying so hard to hold on to him, but it's going to be a difficult task for them.
Here's an example of how strong Hearts are on their home patch, wiping away Dunfermline. It was 3-0, it could have been more. An early goal for Dennis Wyness, who looks to be a player who's been rehabilitated under Robertson.
Yeah, he's coming into a bit of form. He's been scoring some goals. He's been getting involved in the play. Again, this is where de Vries has shown his strength holding the ball up there. But Wyness plays just in behind de Vries as he will do today. So that'll give a problem to the Celtic defence. But Hearts at home, traditionally, especially this season, have been quite strong. Haven't got as many results away from home as they would have liked. And they have to start putting a run of results together to get up from 6th position in the league.
That was Dennis Wyness fouled for the penalty. And Paul Hartley doing, well, what he does in all 3 of the games we're showing you just now. And he hasn't missed in recent times from the penalty spot. He's been a key player for Hearts and for John Robertson in the first half of the season. Maybe Robbo's only got himself to blame for drop points here at Pittodrie. Of course, there was the Andy Webster fracas sent off. That's why he'll miss the game today. But it ended all square in terms of scoreline against Calais Thistle. And, of course, this is the team that Robertson himself helped to build.
Well, again, we've seen with Calais how much they've come on, really. So it was a difficult game for Hearts to go there and get something, but they got a point. They got a point, which I suppose wasn't a bad result. Probably not what John Robertson was looking for, but that's the job he left for Craig Brewster, who they're a solid side. And as I say, Hearts have to start turning these points into 3 points, Rob, if they want to start climbing up the SPL.
So that was Hartley scoring again. 10 goals for the season for him, but I guess it's from that point onwards that Robertson would have looked for Hearts to have got another goal, made the point safe. Because these days, if you don't get clear of Inverness Calais Thistle, they'll come back and bite you. And they did here, with Juanjo winning another dubious penalty award. But maybe all ends up, a point apiece was just about fair.
Yeah, I think John Robertson said it was a tale of 2 penalties, and none of them were really a penalty, and they were both soft. But points were shared in the game. So, I mean, losing Webster, and obviously in that game and today's game, was a disappointment for Hearts, but he has to look at his challenge, and it was a definite red card.
Well, it's a case of, well, the real John Robertson stand up. On the left, the Celtic assistant manager. On the right, the Hearts head coach. They share the same name, but they share different ambitions this afternoon, both desperate to win. Now, let's hear from the Celtic manager, Martin O'Neill, ahead of a very important afternoon for him and his team. He again is with Scott.
Martin, you're now unbeaten in the last 6 games. Is there a growing confidence at the club that momentum has started to come for you?
Well, I think that we've just recently we've been doing okay. Some of the results in European football recently were fine. Eventually didn't lead us to getting through into the latter stages of European football, certainly after Christmas. But generally speaking, we're doing okay. We're doing all right. Some difficult games coming up now. Some difficult games that just passed as well too. So I don't think it's any different for us from most other seasons. We know that eventually, if you're going to win the championship, you have to win games.
The last 4 games, you've had the same starting lineup. Has the continuity helped in that factor?
Well, we've changed the side around today, obviously, because Jos Valhaeren is injured and Ulrik Larsson comes in, and Magnus Hedman is ill, so Rab starts now, and I think he's looking forward to it. I think if you're winning games, then if you are able to field the same side in a couple of successive weeks, it probably helps continuity. But I think both run together. You have to be winning the games to be able to do that.
Was it a difficult decision today to go with Rab over Marshall?
No, I just don't think it's Rab's a little bit of experience. Marshall will be back, and I'm quite sure will be goalkeeper here at Celtic for a long time to come. But it's an opportunity for Rab today, and we'll see how things go.
Now you're 1 point away in the lead, and you're away to Hearts. Do the games get much tougher than this to hang on to lead?
No, I think this is as difficult a fixture as you're liable to face. I think in terms of atmosphere, it's always pretty good here as well too, and there doesn't seem to be any respite. It's never ending. 1 minute is just as tough as the next, and it'll be an exceptionally difficult game for us without a doubt. And I'm hoping it will be the same for them.
Martin, what's the situation at the moment with the transfer window? Is there any news on that front?
No.
Have the likes of Hartson and Baldy, have they been offered new contracts?
We are talking to everybody. Yes, there's contract negotiations going on at this minute, and that has been the case now for some time.
Martin, thanks very much.
Okay, thank you.
Well, here's what's happened for Celtic since drawing with Milan at Celtic Park and dropping out of both the Champions League and the UEFA Cup. But what's significant in the last 3 games, and what wasn't happening earlier in the season, Craig, is that Celtic have stopped leaking goals.
They have. They've been improving defensively, which they've had to do over the past 2 or 3 years. They've been very, very strong at the back, and of course they scored there with Chris Sutton from a Thompson corner, and how many times have we seen that? But they get a little bit of rubber green here because it wasn't a free kick initially. Alan Thompson actually dived, but when the ball drops to Stelian Petrov here, you've got to say it's a fantastic finish, but a little bit harsh on Dunfermline because the free kick shouldn't have been given in the first place.
Well, 3 goals here, and all of them stemming from set pieces. This one against Dundee United last weekend, and well, there's no doubt that a lot of the talk in the home dressing room today will be watch Celtic set pieces, but stopping them sometimes ain't so straightforward.
Well, it's a carbon copy of a corner kick. We've seen them do it so many times, but you work on it in midweek, and I'm sure most teams do. I'm sure Hearts have done. But it's very difficult to stop. But this guy here, McGeady's been the top player for Celtic now. A lot of prospects, a lot of people talking about him. Good feet, can play on either side. Pity he's playing for Republic of Ireland from a Scottish point of view. But nevertheless, keeping Janino out the side, and deservedly so. I'm
just looking at the goals for an incredible difference between these two in terms of SPL goals scored. Celtic with 45. They've leaked a lot as well, of course. Hearts just 19, and maybe that tells you why Hearts are currently 6th.
Yeah, well, I mean, going back to the start of the season when Craig Levein was still the manager there, they had so many problems up front. De Vries was injured, Pereira was injured, Wyness was injured, so they had so many problems, couldn't get a partnership going together. And Craig was bemoaning his striker problem. Now, John started to get 1 or 2 fit, and if he keeps De Vries fit, as I say, if he keeps him at the club, then he will score goals, and Wyness is hitting a bit of form, so hopefully Hearts have got over that problem.
How much is the uncertainty at the moment, do you think, preying on, well, especially Hearts' minds? Because while Celtic have players like Hartson and Baldy who might move on if they're not given the appropriate offers, I mean, Hearts have got about 10 or 12 people.
Well, I think if you listen to John Robertson's interview there, he said that not only are Hearts going to offer contracts, but players have got their fingers in a couple of pies as well in terms of keeping their options open, you know, talking to other clubs, agents talking to other clubs. So it's not just down to Hearts offering them. The players have to want to stay. And if they don't want to stay at Heart of Midlothian, then they will move on for bigger and better things. But hopefully from our point of view and from John Robertson's point of view, it can tempt most of them into staying at Hearts.
Boxing Day football on Setanta Sports. We're at Tynecastle. It's a good place to be. It's going to be a full house. It should be quite a game between Hearts and Celtic. It's coming up.
Celtic TV, home of the champions. For only £3 or €5 a month, you can upgrade your Setanta Sports subscription on Sky to include your club's TV channel. See the future. Know your history. Be at the heart, the legends, the glory. For an extra £3 or €5 a month, join the club.
With 8 pages every Saturday and a massive 24 pages every Monday. Super Goals, covering every match played in Scotland. Written by Scotland's award-winning writer and leading columnists. Giving you great football analysis and commentary. Because we're big in Scottish football. The Scottish Sun, we love it.
Oh shit, oh shit. Could you push your button? Could you feel that switch? Could you push your button? Like you're up and itch.
Colt, the new small car from Mitsubishi, from just £7,999 on the road.
Well, they pushed Rangers close at Ibrox, as we've just seen last month. Can they be a test for Celtic at Tynecastle? Hearts against Celtic, live from Setanta Sports, coming your way. And here's what we've got for you in the first month of the new year. And these are the telephone numbers you need to know if you want to subscribe to SPL Live on Setanta Sports. If you're with Sky, the number is 08700 50 69 70. With NTL, it's 0800 052 4000. Telewest customers, 0845 142 0000. In the Republic of Ireland, with Sky, it's 0818 71 99 99. And if you're with NTL, 1800 234 234. Further details to be had on setanta.com. It's Hearts against Celtic on Boxing Day. Let's hope it's more ho-ho-ho than bah humbug, with Mark Hateley and Jock Brown.
Thanks, Rob. Yes, a game, I think, to savour on Boxing Day, and certainly with the record that Hearts have at home in the league, the best record in Britain, 2 goals lost in 9 matches. Mark, this could be a major test for Celtic leaders.
Absolutely. It's one of those games that, as the boys have been saying, could be that banana skin that everybody talks about. Good defensive record there with Stephen Presley setting up, marshalling at the back. And, Celtic with the pressure of trying to maintain the lead at the top of the table.
So let's just take a check on this Hearts team, where they've made 2 major omissions from the starting lineup. Andy Webster and Patrick Kisnorbo are suspended. So Kevin McKenna and Phil Stamp come back into the side. The other change is Dennis Wyness, who's preferred up front to Graham Weir.
We're just setting up in the 4-4-2, but pretty flexible midfield area there. Could set up with a 4, maybe a 1 and then a 2, and then 3 up front. That's the flexibility that side has. Hartley there sitting in the middle of the playmaker. 10 goals in 25 starts this season for Hearts. Key player.
And Magnus Hedman is ill, so Rab Douglas makes his first league appearance of the season in goal, with David Marshall still on the bench. Jos Valhaeren is injured, so Ulrik Larsson makes his first league start of the season. Otherwise, it's a well-settled Celtic lineup.
Yeah, the traditional 4-4-2 Celtic setup there. McNamara captaining in at the full-back position. Larsson coming in at the left-back berth. But Sutton and Hartson today will have all on today to crack this Hearts defence.
So the team's leaving at the very last minute to emerge in this very, very cold afternoon here at Tynecastle. Celtic supporters travelling here, leading the league and hoping that will be maintained this afternoon. Stephen Presley, a former Rangers player, of course, will lead out Hearts, and he certainly is a key player, no question about that, in the heart of that Tynecastle defence. Craig Gordon behind him celebrates his 22nd birthday on Friday on Hupmanay. and he too is a player of immense importance to this new Hearts side. Still no sign of Celtic, taking their time to appear to start the match. Jackie McNamara will lead them out for sure. There he comes. And followed by Rab Douglas. Well, he's been in the wilderness for some time, Douglas, and he had a major opportunity this afternoon. A bit of a surprise, perhaps, that he's preferred to David Marshall, who certainly is the long-term hope, I think, as Martin O'Neill told us before the match, to keep goal for Celtic. Behind him too, Alan Thompson, who was something of an injury doubt before the match, but he has been past fit to play, and that's a major boost, I would suggest, to Celtic. So they'll be led out by the referee, Mike McCurry. So the players coming out behind the officials, who are in luminous yellow tops, or almost lime green tops. In fact, it's quite a remarkable colour scheme for the referee and linesman. So, very important player. Paul Hartley served his apprenticeship all over the place at Hamilton, Millwall, Raithrover, St Johnstone, but he's playing his 49th match for Hearts this afternoon, and he really has developed into a key top-class midfield player.
Rab Douglas there, a surprise man for me today, overstepping young David Marshall, but he'll be looking forward. I was watching him in the warm-up, big smile on his face, and that opportunity there is again for him to take up.
Well, the early stages of the match will be extremely important. It is remarkable to think that the only two players to score in the league here at Tynecastle this season in 9 matches are Derek Riordan of Hibs and Richie Poran of Motherwell, in a very surprising 1-0 victory. The referee is Mike McCurry, who's administered 5 red cards and 60 yellows in 18 matches this season.
You could say he's card happy then.
Well, he knows what he's about, but recognised perhaps one of the fittest referees in the SPL, no doubt about that. So the huddle is over for Celtic. Another key match in this charge towards the title. And major hopes for these young Celtic supporters as Hearts prepare to start the match. So Hartley, in the heart of midfield, a key player. Dennis Wynas beside him. Martin Priest not involved in the kick-off. He starts off wide on the left-hand side of the attack on the halfway line. So a major occasion, the SPL. Hearts against Celtic gets underway, and the first ball overshoots Mark Dupreece. He was the target for that ball. And these early exchanges will be very crucial, as we said. In fact, I think there'll be an attempt by Hearts to put pressure on Rab Douglas early on after his long layoff from first-team duty.
Yeah, they do have a player in the guys of Mark Dupreece who can put pressure on big defenders and goalkeepers alike. Since he's come over his injury, the injured toe he's had, that's been niggling away for a while. He's had a good run of form.
So is this man, Jackie McNamara, captaining Celtic. This is Kevin McKenna, who's been a very important player to the Hearts. His versatility has been crucial. He's playing the heart of the defence this afternoon, besides Stephen Presley, who's been asked to do a little bit of work there. And Craig Gordon gets his first involvement in the play. Not quite the way I think Hearts intended. McGeady's first touch. Lawson, the former Hibs man, turns it back to Douglas to get him involved in the play.
Very similar talk to the referees there.
Very important factor, that, actually. There's the clearance by Lawson, picked up here by Thompson. Strong challenge there by Nielsen. Hearts certainly don't mess about when they're tackling at the back. Paul Stamp, experienced player, wide on the right-hand side of midfield. This is Presley. And now Nielsen. Turned away there by McGeady. And Robbie Nielsen growing in confidence now in the Hearts defence. Scored that vital goal against Ball. Didn't turn out to be too vital, unfortunately.
Two willing fullbacks as well, Jock Mabry and Nielsen, prepared to get forward, trying to get the ball into the box as early as they can.
Headed away by Varga. This is Hartson. Under pressure there from Presley. His upper body strength apparently for all to see. This is McAllister. Asking rather a lot there of his teammate Hartley, who did well to retrieve. Now Alan Mabry. McAllister. A very interesting blend in this Hearts team. They do have some good defensive players, but also a lot of creativity with Hartley and Stewart in the middle of the midfield. And these two really are passers and creative players. And the wide men, Stamp and McAllister, love to get forward, but they really can put in a tackle as well.
Yeah, got a good balance to Robertson's side, the playmakers, the workers. There's the guy up front, Big De Vries, who is a handful for most defenders. A good balance, good defensive record. As you say, the two big boys at the back, Webster missing today, but McKenna coming in there. Good solid outfit.
Lawson's free kick, the target is Sutton, who gets up well to that, above McKenna. But far enough out not to trouble Craig Gordon in goal. Well, John Robertson indicated before the match he expected lots of passion from his team, and they seldom let him down in that regard. Lennon holding off Hartley. That's played forward by Stewart. McKenna heading out straight to Hartson. And a great run made by Petrov. What a chance for Celtic. He's offside. Must have been very close. He was on the run at pace.
Tight call up for the Hearts back four. Sutton.
Oh, that's a question mark.
Onside. That looked onside to me. Linesman got that one wrong.
Well, disappointing there for Petrov. George Drummond here, the assistant on this side, with the flag up.
Trademark runs there from Petrov, always supporting the front two. A willing runner all the time into that box.
The header on was by McAllister. This is Wyness. He scored a winner against Celtic. That was for Inverness Calgary Thistle in the Cup. And the goal kick is the result of that tough exchange near the corner flag.
Yeah, Wyness and Mabry there, both squeezing the ball in there into the corner. A good start from Hearts, been pressing all over the park in the wider areas, the central areas, not giving Celtic a second on the ball to get the ball forward.
Skimming off the head of Presley for Sutton with a shooting chance. Oh, he hit it well. Well, there's the threat, all right, from Hartson and Sutton.
Good, yeah, great link-up play there. Great touch from Hartson on there. Just getting to the ball. There's actually a head on from there from Stephen Presley. And the shot just the wrong side of Marshall's post. But that's the threat.
Well, Presley was complaining that the referee was eased off the ball to some extent. That's McAllister. He's given that straight to Larson, and a good chance on for Stamp. This is McGeady back now with Lawson. Hartson holding off Presley. Back it comes now to Ulrich Lawson, Danish international. Well claimed there by Gordon.
Yeah, good take there from Craig Gordon, but that run again from Petrov. Two central strikers splitted themselves there, and Petrov getting between the two of them. Gordon a match.
Varga over the top of De Vries. It breaks here for Stewart. Pass couldn't elude McGeady, but it's back now with Wyness and Hartley. Put in by Nielsen. That's McAllister helping it on. So Celtic have a throw here. It's interesting though to see De Vries on one side, Hartson particularly on the other side. Hugely powerful centre forwards. How do centre halves handle that, Mark?
Well, you just have to have that discipline. It's okay getting. I think when you've got De Vries, Hartson, and Sutton, you know they've all got a lack of pace, so they basically play in front of you all the time. So it makes it not too difficult for the big centre-half. It's when the big centre-half loses his discipline and tries to win every ball that's being knocked into the... You know, normally a hand on the back is enough. Get the ball and let it blend up and then, you know, take the second run.
Well, lots of noise coming from both ends of the stadium here. And Sutton holding off Presley illegally.
Yeah, straightforward decision there from the referee. Sutton just getting his body across Stephen Presley there.
Craig Gordon is playing his 62nd consecutive match for Hearts after replacing Temple Moylan, who allowed 5 past him at Celtic Park, and that's what ended his run in the team. A clash there, a bit of a concern there among the Hearts players about McAllister's injury. Seemed to catch McNamara's arm here.
Yeah, just don't think there was anything in that. I think it's a trailing arm of McNamara just coming round there.
Nothing sinister, that's for sure.
McAllister just trying to get the ball in the back of him. No, nothing in that one.
Yeah. So a cut lip there for Jamie McAllister, a man with 1 international cap against Trinidad and Tobago for Scotland. Played for Aberdeen, Queen of the South, Livingston. So he has to leave the field in the terms of the new rules of the cut lip.
Yeah, the young boy, Craig Gordon, coinciding with that fantastic defensive record that Hearts are maintaining at the moment.
Still a problem there for the Hearts defence as Hartson helped that on for Sutton. Good ball in there from McNamara for Petrov. This is promising. And it's a great finish there by McGeady. Celtic have the lead.
There's a
excellent build-up and a terrific finish for the man who scored his first ever goal here at Tynecastle for Celtic.
Super play there. Getting it behind the fullback Mabry. Just firing the shot across. Difficult angle, but McGeady, as you'd expect, young man in form. Side foot, straight into the back of the net to take his team 1-0 up. It's not the first time that Celtic have got behind the back of the Hearts defence, but clinical finish there from the young boy McGeady.
Well, he burst on the scene for the first time here at Tynecastle last April and scored a very fine goal on that occasion too. And that takes his tally for the season to 4 and his career tally to 5 for Celtic. Well, it's a major blow to Hearts. Remember how difficult it has been for anyone to score here in the league, and Celtic have done it very early in the match. Head flick on from Larson was missed there by Nielsen. Under pressure from McGeady. This is Thompson now. Off goes Sutton. A very good run by Sutton, matched by McKenna. Now looking for support. Well, looking for a corner kick there, Sutton. Complaining there to the referee.
Super run there from Sutton though. Prepared to stretch his legs to the other side of the defence. One of his weaker sides of the game is his pace breaking off defenders, but a willing runner there.
Well, this is a real face-off for Hearts. They have to work out how to cope with this. They really have trouble through the centre. John Robertson would have been aware of the threat from Sutton and Hearts, and especially through the middle. And then with Petrov and McGeady on the flanks from midfield, they've stretched Hearts all right.
I think the big two at the back have just got to be careful not to get sucked forward out into that to the space and leave that hole.
McNamara forward. Headed away was by McKenna. Strong play by DeFries. Stamp turning back for Stewart. Michael Stewart still with a great deal to prove in Hearts colours for Manchester United man. They're still the Manchester United man. He's on loan here. There's Phil Stamp. Back now with McKenna and Presley. And Michael Stewart is inconvenienced somewhat in the middle of the field. He's really walking about and heading towards the dugout. I wonder if he's...
I think that could be the end. I think that could be the end of this game, actually.
And here he is, departing the scene. Well, not instantly apparent what the problem is. Perhaps carrying an injury before the match. Shake of the head from Stewart to his manager. It's going to be Neil McFarlane coming on. I think this is a man you thought, Mark, might be the starting lineup.
Yeah, I thought he'd probably play in this game. Don't think he's as good as Kisnorbo, but he's a very energetic player, is always in around, works his socks off for the team in that central midfield area, and is a spoiler. You know, he breaks play down, gives the ball easy.
Yeah, very much like for like, Kisnorbo and McFarlane, whereas Stewart added a different kind of dimension, the creative dimension. But the way the game is going, I'm not too sure John Roberts will be too distressed about the fact that McFarlane has come on, because that kind of midfield player really has a place in this game.
Yeah, he's a high-energy player, as we said before. He's a spoiler and a messer. Gets under people's skin.
He's gone straight to Alan Thompson, interestingly. Sutton again penalised, winning the ball in the air, but using his arms illegally.
That's a good clash, that Stephen Presley. Chris Sutton, 6 of one and half a dozen of there, but the referee giving in favour of the defender.
Greg Gordon's free kick's a good one. Baldy gets his head to the ball. This is Wyness. Back to Hartley. Did well to find McAllister. Barrier got a touch. Handball by McGeady very clearly. Well, it did bounce awkwardly, but the young man certainly handled it with his left arm.
Yeah, just got himself in slightly off balance there. The ball just took him by surprise. Just straightforward decision for the referee there. Great chance for Hearts.
A superb opportunity this is, and Paul Hartley very much in the scoring mood, may take this. Discussion going on. They also have the left foot of Jamie McAllister available for this, and the angle's good for that. The referee insisting on the wall retreating the appropriate distance. No Hearts players joining the wall, interestingly. Well, this should be one from the training ground. Indeed it was, and that's very good handling by Douglas. We had Wyness right on top of him there for any slip-up.
Great confidence booster that for Ab Douglas. Super take. Hard download. Players coming in on top of him, defenders and attackers. Good confidence booster.
This is McKenna tidying up. So the throw goes to Celtic. Lawson with the ball, looking for movement, gets it from Sutton. Lawson couldn't quite get there. Well, showing a lot of energy early in the match. As befits a man, of course, negotiating a new contract, Mark.
Yep, absolutely. 15 goals this season. Ever a threat when the ball's going into the box. Great partnership he's got with Chris Sutton. Often say two big guys can't play together, but these two certainly can.
Top exchange there, Baldy and De Vries. Two mountains, really, challenging there. Nielsen inside's a good pass. Space for Hartley and for Maybury. Needs some movement ahead, though. Gets it eventually from De Vries. That's a very good first touch. Wyness caught from the rear there by Thompson. The Hearts supporters very upset about that as Pedro breaks. This is Thompson. Looking there for the run of Hartson. Well, the flag was up on the near side. It wouldn't have counted.
Threat again there. Hearts guilty of giving the ball away very sloppily. How that on earth is offside for Hartson, I'll never know.
No, it's Sutton maybe, but not Hartson.
Yeah, Sutton, no part in the play. Not an active part in the play anyway. But he'll be disappointed he didn't hit the target there, even though it was offside.
So the goal kick from Gordon reaches De Vries, who's done well there. Well, there's a potent thread up front for Celtic, even without Henrik Larsson, who was a real goal machine. 25 goals offered by Sutton and Hartson, and of course both men have missed 1 or 2 games through injury, especially Sutton. De Vries complaining he was pushed by Varga. Mike McCurry ignores him and makes off. So it's Rob Douglas bringing the ball out. But let's find out what did happen to Michael Stewart. Scott Booth can tell us.
Well, what actually happened was he went to strike a long ball, and as he did so, he's tweaked his groin. But I think it's something that he's going to be had for a little while now. Obviously, for it to go so early on in the game is not ideal for John Robertson. But as I say, it's a tweaked groin. It looks like he will be out for a couple of weeks by the looks of it, and not a good start for Hearts.
Well, back into Michael Stewart, and also for Mark Dupreece, who's been penalised for his attentions on Varga.
Yeah, it's starting to get itself about now, De Vries. I think if there's a question mark about his game, it is his mobility. Over the last 5 or 10 minutes, that's him starting to impose himself on the Celtic defence.
Well, he has become royal, there's no doubt about that, De Vries, because he thinks he's being abused by Balde and Varga. He's been reacting to that, and I think this may make him a more effective player.
Absolutely. Some players need a little bit of winding up, a kick up the backside. Over the last 5 or 10 minutes, De Vries has had that little bit of a niggle and is just starting to get himself into the game.
Well, he is a huge figure, De Vries, and the contest with Balde and Varga should be fascinating, especially if he's got a little bit angry, as long as he controls that aggression. And Hartson penalised, backing into McKenna.
Yeah, if it's not Sutton, it's Harson, or both back in all day long. There's not a lot in, as a forward, there's not a lot in that, but the referee right on top of it again.
Well, left arm was pinning him down rather at the end there. There's De Vries again, doing up with Varga, who's coping very well at the moment with these high balls. This is McAllister with McNamara, very tight on him. Oh, good play there by Mabry initially, but McNamara was there for Celtic. Well, it's hectic all right. Mabry inside, Petrov resisting Hartley. And Hartley getting a bit overrode also. In goes Lennon with Petrov. Totally unnecessary. Well, Hartley did overreact somewhat to the challenge from Petrov. There will be a problem, I think, for these two players. Well, what did Lennon have to get involved for?
Oh, Lennon's always involved. He's always there, isn't he? He's always on the spot. But, a little bit of leading on here, a little bit of pulling. I don't think there's a lot in that. Hartley's going for the ball's there. And that man Lennon again, in firing everybody up.
The referee's satisfied with a little warning. That's one this time at the back for Hearts in the air. It's been unusual in this match so far. There goes McKenna again, Canadian international. Petrov's pass is a good one. This is Sutton. Thompson wide for Lawson, supporting well from left back. And it comes to Thompson. Lawson took a knock there. McGeady taken out of the play there by Stamp. Clear foul by Stamp.
Getting a bit niggly now. A few fouls flying around. And Stamp just getting himself between him and the ball. And McCurry just given the simple free kick for Celtic.
Well, if Hearts and Sutton weren't bad enough, now get Varga and Balde in the box for this ball, and of course, superb delivery expected from Thompson. There's Hartson, he's offside. Totally decisive header, but it doesn't count.
The lively man, the linesman this near side. Yeah, 3 or 4 of them standing there. But great finish nevertheless. That'll give Hartson the confidence he needs after missing the one about 5 minutes ago.
Well, he's been playing in real cup-tie spirit this match. And you can sense around the pitch that tempers are rising just a bit on both sides. Helped on there well by McAllister and Mabry. Holding up McNamara. First time. Accepting the throw. £100,000 Mabry cost from Leeds United. Played in by Wyness. Up goes De Vries against Varga, who challenged them very effectively indeed.
You don't see that many times. Stan Varga being knocked to the floor. But, that's one of the strengths of Hearts, getting the ball in there. Two mid-mountain coming together.
Good defending though, great credit due to him. That's good defending also. Surely a foul. No? The referee allowed play to continue. Well, Presley was flattened there, but the referee, I don't think he gave advances. I don't think he gave the foul.
Great battle already between these two. Good old centre forward and centre half getting together, sharing some festive spirit.
Certainly enjoyable affair to watch. Here's Lawson. Covering player for Presley is McKenna. Confidence shown here by Presley. To the ground by Hartson. Now you get to a point where these two big strikers, when they are penalised when challenging for high goals, they really have persistent infringements here.
Yeah, there's a same persistent foul in here. Hartson and Sutton. Every time that they're near the ball at the moment, the referee Marvin Curry's pulling them up. Have to be careful.
The free strike to hold off Varga. Thompson clears. Mike Namara did well. That's Nielsen. And Lawson. Carelessness there from McGeady. Possession back with Hearts. This is McFarlane. That's good play from Hearts. Final pass from Nielsen, cut up well by Lawson. Oh, that's fine play by Hartley. Very sharp and alert. Winans can help this on. There's De Vries trying to turn, and a good challenge made by Lennon. Presley into the back of Sutton. That was a clear foul also.
That's what I'm saying there, discipline. Stephen Presley, no need to make that foul. The ball's been rifled into Chris Sutton. It's always a difficult ball to hold up to. Hold on to. Just a lack of discipline there. Taking the pressure off Celtic.
Head flick on by Hartson. Well, the angle was not quite right for Sutton. Well, I would say a thoroughly satisfactory opening quarter of the match for Martin O'Neill and John Robertson beside him there. Marking's very tight here for this throw. Strong challenge by McKenna. This is De Vries holding off Baldi. Running into Varga. Not much joy there, past Baldi into Varga. Now Nielsen. Stamp ahead. In the FA Cup final 1997 when Middlesbrough against Chelsea. Alongside Juninho in the same team. Strong tackle there by Nielsen on McGeady. That's Hartley trying to play that beyond Varga. Difficult task. Cut up here by Lawson. Sutton did well getting on that loose ball, taking on McKenna. Good movement shown by Sutton. And a fine chance there for Stelian Petrov. It was brilliant play by Sutton.
Super link-up play again by the two strikers. Carlson finding Sutton. Just getting himself across McKenna. And a great cut back there. We're saying about Petrov getting himself into the box. I think he should have done, by his own standards, should have done better there. It's a good chance for a man of his ability.
In fact, that could turn out to be a very important moment, because you do fancy if Celtic had gone two in front there, it would be very hard to catch, but very good chance missed by Petrov. And ball straight away again. Header picks out Hartson. Turned away there by Maybury for the throw. Here's Sutton. Holding off challenge from Hartley. Headed on by Baldi. McKenna eased off the ball by Hartson. Well, John Hartson really is on thin ice, I would have thought, in terms of yellow cards.
Just pushing in arms everywhere. I don't think there's been anything that's been untoward. It's just been niggly stuff.
Just the number of them that's the problem, I think. Back there with Presley. Forward it comes now to Nielsen. The Hearts do like to pass the ball like this. Hartley's pass picks out Wyness, playing just off De Vries. Lennon did well. Is McNamara's pass. Here's Hartson, robbed quickly there by McAllister, checking back. Nielsen now being closed down rapidly by McGeady. He remained very calm indeed. His Hearts' longest serving player is just 24 years old, Nielsen. Foul there by Varga on De Vries. It's taken very quickly by Hearts. And Lennon read that extremely well to go across and stifle the threat.
Yeah, super play there from Lennon. Ever alert, ball goes dead, good players come alive.
1996, Nielsen joined Hearts, age of 16, and no one else has been there longer on this team. McKenna helping it on, that was awkward.
Good little flick on there from McKenna. There's nobody coming on for the second ball there, just coming over the top of Baldy's head. Nice little take for Rob Douglas.
Strong play by Sutton again. Lawson back to Sutton. The dummy was a good one, but got read by Hartson. So time now for McKenna. Now Hearts now beginning to try and enjoy more and more possession, play more passes. Is the kind of game John Robertson's trying to foster, this passing and moving game. He certainly invited McAllister and Stamp to play a long way forward on the flanks, with Wyness dropping off De Vries. Headed on there by Lawson. That's well taken by Petrov. Support comes from McNamara.
I think Stamp for me has been a quiet one this the first in the opening counters. I think he has a lot more to his game than he's shown at the moment. Can be an influential player. I think starting to wander in now, trying to get himself more involved.
It's one league defeat so far here at Tynecastle for Hearts. That was against Motherwell. Larks' return pass cut off, intercepted. No offside flag, which the Hearts defender were hoping for. So patient play by Celtic. Such a difference that one goal cushion makes. Keeps the supporters happy for one thing. Breeds patience among them. Hartson again doing well. Handball there, surely, but no way of Mike McCurry spotting that. That's a foul by McAllister. The advantage will apply as Sutton takes over. Back with Petrov. Very clearance reaches McNamara. Here's Lennon. Careless one. Good judgment shown there by Hartley, taking on Lennon, but not enough space. Header on there by Maybury. Well, it's a long time since Celtic failed to score against Hearts. It was way back in April 2000 when they lost by 1-0. 21 games with a goal on the goals on the score sheet, including today.
And they're playing like a team that have scored in the last 21 games as well. Very confident.
Thompson's shot not too far away. Celtic are dominating. Hearts really are struggling to cope.
That's what Hearts are going to be careful of, not giving the ball away when they've got people in advanced areas there. Thompson there, another threat. Given plenty of space to run into. Just pulling his shot wide, but that's a problem for Hearts at the moment. Every time they lose the ball, Celtic have players in abundance that are supporting the front two.
A good change for Petrov, and trying to do that on the field of play. The referee has resolved that. Celtic with 10 for the moment. That's well won by De Vries. Hartson robbed by McKenna. Well, there's a possession after half an hour, 50-50. I'm slightly surprised at that, Mark. I thought Celtic perhaps they had more.
They've had a lot of possession, Hearts in midfield, been knocking the ball around though, haven't they? But just not getting it into the right areas to hurt Celtic. Celtic have had a lot of possession in the forward areas.
It's good play there by Hartley when he was fouled. The referee gave the advantage because the ball reached Neil McFarlane.
That's what Joe Robertson wanted. He wants Stamp and McAllister to get more involved in the game. They've been very, very quiet in the wider areas of the park. Stamp is a man for me that can turn the game. Been very, very quiet so far.
Now, this is a difficult area for an attacking team against Celtic with all their power at the back. Perhaps that's why we've had the short free kick, changing the angles. Valde's header out. You really feel there isn't much point in playing a high ball into the Celtic penalty box with all those defenders so dominant. Even with men like De Vries and McKenna here. McKenna's done well. This is Maybury changing the angle for the cross. Varga did well. Well, that up there again against Hartley by Hartson. That was a clear foul again.
Yeah, I think he was fortunate to get that one. I think Hartson got himself in the position. Hartley put his hand on his shoulder. It's that the arm that comes up all the time from your central strikers when you're about to jump, and that's what referee McCurry has penalised John Hartson for.
Well, it's showing 4 fouls, but seems like more, I must say. So a set piece. Hartley at the heart of these always. Very good block. Charging player was Jackie McNamara. That's top-class defending. And now Presley. Headed away by Lawson, who's no smout himself. Left back. Thompson to Hartson, who stayed deep for the moment. Lennon also. Petrov makes himself available. He does so well, so often. Dummy by Sutton, finds Hartson. That's Thompson trying the first time ball with the outside of the left boot for McGeady. Didn't quite come off. An indication of confidence the Celtic ranks.
You can see again that when the ball's going forward, there's 4 or 5 players up there on the front line for Celtic. You've got Thompson that's getting there, you've got Petrov that's getting there. A team playing with full of confidence.
Well, the last 17 matches between these two sides have resulted in 17 victories in all competitions for Celtic. And only 1 for Hearts. So the throw will be taken by McNamara eventually. Well, some of the additional stewards coming around here. The problem for one young man. Sutton fouled by McKenna. Well, I don't know what the overall foul count is at the moment. We're going to find that out later, Mark, but it's been stop go all the time.
I'll tell you what, the first half, it's been a stop from the first whistle.
There we are, 16 fouls so far, 35 minutes gone. Multiply it by 3, with too many fouls in the game. Well, as the Celtic supporters in good voice at the moment, things going well for the league leaders. De Vries easing in there in front of Balde. Offside flag up against Hartson.
So one for Hearts at the moment. As soon as the ball's going forward, there's too many players going in advance of De Vries, and there's not an option on for him when he's holding the ball up.
Well, Varga on top of De Vries. The Hearts supporters not happy about that. Referee McCurry in no way troubled.
You see when the ball comes into De Vries, he's quite capable of holding that big players off. They're just getting the balance of keeping players this side of the ball and one run on the other side.
Interesting to see how these defenders cope. Actually, Varga, I think, has done very well so far.
It's good discipline. You know, he's not been trying to win the ball in front of him. He's just been using his size on the defensive side, the defensive role.
Back now with Kevin McKenna. Clearance by Varga. Here's Hartson again. Top of Paul Hartley. No, it's not a free kick because Hearts have possession. It looks as though the referee gave an advantage there. Here's McAllister. And now Hartley. Oh, a terrific pass. And Nielsen and McGeady clash. The referee is helped out by the assistant on the far side. Martin Clines telling the referee it was a foul on McGeady by Nielsen. Free kick to Celtic.
Fantastic ball out to Nielsen. Yeah, just first touch let him down there. Straightforward foul on McGeady.
McGeady under severe pressure from McAllister. They switched with Stamp. Stamp's gone to the left. McAllister on the right side of midfield.
I'm not surprised about that because those two have been very, very quiet. They need to try something different so you can get something against the...
That's a great tackle by Maybelline Hartson. Terrific tackle. Not easy at all. Very important inside the penalty box to get that right. Stamp flying in there and McNamara offer an apology there as he picked himself up. Strong defending by Presley. Great piece of defending this.
Yeah, super play there. Had to get it right. If he didn't, it's a penalty. It's in the box.
Header away was by Lawson, and an angry reaction from McAllister. That could have got him into trouble. Well, they fired up all right, Hearts. They're just coming off second best in the key areas at the moment. Hartley forced to go deeper and deeper to get on the ball. Stamp taking over. The angle ball. Finding McAllister. Still in there by McGeady. Oh, that's a lovely little change of pace and shuffle there. Martin O'Neill is infuriated by the treatment of McGeady. And the referee's going to take action here. And McGeady's in trouble too for too much speech play, but it's McFarlane who'll be lectured for that challenge.
Bit of a crunching challenge here from McFarlane. Just catching his foot there.
It's a yellow for McFarlane. Well, I can't remember having too many fouls before, so you know, we got lucky perhaps.
I think that's his first foul since he's come onto the park. But,
perhaps it was where it happened that caused the trouble for him.
That all started from the forward ball again, Jock. People overlapping, trying to get themselves the other side of the ball, the other side of the defence, and no support for the ball to be knocked down. Celtic pick the ball up, get the break, and that's when you end up chasing and giving silly fouls away.
Lawson launching that in. Sutton judged it well. It's very interesting actually to see what happens there, because these high balls causing so many problems, and Stephen Presley is beginning to misjudge one or two, and his anxiety to beat Sutton Hartson the ball.
You're saying about the discipline, Jock. It's all about having discipline, not getting drawn to the ball, just letting the guy get the ball down, and then trying to pick up the pass on the second ball.
Well, would you believe the first corner of the match? Quite remarkable. McGeady will take this. All the way through to Baldy. That was a decent chance for Baldy.
It's another chance. Another chance. Scooting across the box here. Lots of players coming past 3 or 4 players. But that's a good chance for Baldy to hit the target there.
Well, the possession may be quite similar in terms of percentages, but in goal chances, it's all Celtic.
That's all Celtic, yeah. Sustained efforts on goal. I think Martin O'Neill will be disappointed that they're not further in front.
Challenge there by McAllister on Lawson. You couldn't question the Hearts' commitment. They certainly are putting a lot of energy into the game.
A lot of energy being put in the midfield area, but for wider areas of the park, Stamp, McAllister for me have been disappointed, and I think that's where John Robertson would have wanted it to be happening for him. Wider areas so he can get the ball into De Vries from better angles, should I say, from deeper angles.
Larson's clearance, a throw to Hearts. Big push towards the interval, trying to get back on terms.
The problem for Hearts at the moment, balls are coming into De Vries from two deeper areas.
He's the target here for the long throw. It's won well by Balde. You were seeing a clash there with McGeady. Well, he had a chance to deliver a good ball there. Couldn't go past Thompson. You have the impression, though, that it's been drilled into the Hearts team not to bother launching high balls into that Celtic penalty box. Try and play their way through here. Larson can't run away there from Thompson. Good support from Maybury. And fine defending by McNamara. Maybury again. Flashing with Lennon. Petrov picks out Hartson. Well, asking a lot there, Thompson or Petrov. Celtic, I'm sure, intent now in making certain they hold this lead to the interval. Indication from the tunnel area is that there will be one additional minute at the end of this first half. Well won by Hartley. That's Balde, and Presley getting the ball. May use his goalkeeper, I suspect. Wrestling match going on there, allowing Winans to break. He's closed down though by Larsson in particular, with Lennon and Balde in support. Another feature of the Celtic defending is the depth they get. This is McAllister. Well, De Vries doesn't want the ball played behind central defenders because he's not going to outrun them. Scotty behind by Varga.
Good defending there from Varga. Just ushering the ball out there, but Farland trying to get himself around that considerable frame, but it was not to be.
A lot of hard thinking, I suspect, for John Robertson at the interval. Decide just how to turn this game around, because really it is going Celtic's way quite comprehensively at the moment.
Yeah, I think he's got the problem with the wider areas at the moment. That's not delivering for his team. And for his main strength, De Vries.
Another foul by Hartson. Well, Neil McFarlane might have a big grievance here. One foul we remember, and one yellow card. 1 minute will be added.
It's the arm that comes up all the time with John Hartson.
Maybury plates it in. This should be defender's ball. That was troublesome, and I wonder if that was deliberate, Larson and Varga leaving that. The way they reacted to each other, I think it may have been.
This is what we're saying, look, Maybury delivering the ball from the halfway line. Too deeper area, that to be being knocked into the box. It needs to be another 30, 40 yards up the pitch from the Stamp McAllister area, and then delivered. That's been the problem for Hearts this half.
Well, barely enough time now for any further serious activity going on, but Presley this time penalised for a foul on Hartson. Variation in the theme. These two have been together throughout the match. Barging into him there. This is a key moment perhaps in the match, with Celtic taking a set piece. All the big men forward. Thompson plates it in. McKenna did well, standing his ground. And it's the last attack of the first half, in which Celtic have performed extremely well. And Aidan McGeady, in about 10 minutes, gave them a vital opening goal and eased a lot of tension and pressure. It really was a terrific goal. McNamara set up Petrov to drill that across. A very accurate finish by young McGeady. That's made the difference, but throughout the game, Celtic have held sway. They've been in the ascendancy, and Hearts have a great deal to do to turn this around in the second half. Celtic, good value at half-time for the score, which is Hearts 0, Celtic 1.
Celtic TV, home of the champions. For only £3 or €5 a month, you can upgrade your Setanta Sport subscription on Sky to include your club's TV channel. See the future. Know your history. Be at the heart. The legends. The glory. For an extra £3 or €5 a month, join the club.
The new Mitsubishi Grandis. You won't want to drive anything else.
With 8 pages every Saturday and a massive 24 pages every Monday, Super Goals, covering every match played in Scotland. Written by Scotland's award-winning writer and leading columnists, giving you great football analysis and commentary, because we're big in Scottish football. The Scottish Sun, we love it.
It's the only show in town in Edinburgh. Next weekend, we're at Easter Roads for the second Edinburgh derby of the season. Tony Mowbray's Hibs have been in such good form, and Hearts have it all to do this weekend against Celtic. That's next Sunday from 1 o'clock on Setanta Sports. There are lies, damn lies, and statistics which tell us that Hearts have enjoyed 55% of the first half ball possession, and the big surprise at Tynecastle is that they aren't 2 or 3 goals down. It's been very one-sided, but so far Aidan McGeady's goal is the only one, and Hearts will look to transform their fortunes in the second half. Vastly outplayed, you would reckon, in that first half, but well, they'll look at the scoreline, and they are, Craig, just 1 down.
They are, and I think it's a pleasing thing from Hearts' point of view, and it's the only pleasing thing. They've had 55% possession. They've did absolutely nothing with it. They haven't got their full-backs forward. They've passed the ball about at the edge of their own box between McKenna and Presley. Too long to build up. Celtic have got themselves back in, and then they've launched the ball up to De Vries, and it's coming straight back at them. So, in terms of their ball retention, that's been poor. Winus has been dropping off into an area to pick the ball up. He's either then dwelling on the ball or he's coming too deep. The balls up to De Vries have not been of good enough quality. As I say, the only one that's had any decent quality about his play in the first half was Hartley. But Celtic could have been 2 or 3 up, but as it is, Hearts are still in the game.
And if Hearts get something out of this, they might just buy a Christmas drink for George Drummond, the assistant referee on this near side, who's made a couple of bad rulings, this one being to give Stilian Petrov offside.
Well, I'm afraid this can only be described as an absolute beast of a decision, because Stilian Petrov, as we'll see for the next angle here, is about 2 or 3 yards onside. Now, That's 2 or 3 yards at least onside. That's not even a close call. And that's very early in the game. Now, that's something that Petrov does very well. Now, Hearts had a problem with that in the first 15-20 minutes of the game because they were playing narrow in midfield, allowing McGeady in the left and Petrov on the right to make runs, not getting picked up because of a poor decision. Got away with that there.
One of the features of the first half has been the battering given to Presley and McKenna by Sutton and Hartson, and it was route one here which almost brought about a goal for Chris Sutton. Yeah, well, I mean, Sutton and Hartson have buttered these two centre-halves up today, especially in the first, I say, 25-30 minutes, and you know, they've really been in their faces. Arguably, you know, John Hartson's gave away a lot of fouls, but he's a physical player. Sutton could have hit it there, doesn't, takes a touch, and you see from this angle, it only misses by a foot or so. Very, very good effort, but they've really been a handful for him. I don't think McKenna's looked particularly comfortable, and Presley's missing his normal partner in Webster, and I think it's been too easy for Chris Sutton and John Hartson to hold the ball up in the first half. The only goal so far is only the third that Hearts have lost in the SPL at Tynecastle all season long. Stilian Petrov, he's been a thorn in their flesh right through the first half, Hearts, and he set it up here for Aidan McGeady. I
mean, Celtic looked up for this game, Rob, from the first whistle, and it's good play from McNamara. You could say that was a shot. I think it was a very good ball across the box. I think you see from this angle, he whips it in, and McGeady doing what every good wide player should do, getting it for apples. I have to say, once he gets in that position, McGeady, it's not an easy finish from there. And this is what Celtic deserved for the play in the first 15-20 minutes. They were the better side. They were a side that looked more likely to score.
Are they also winning the tactical battle?
They're winning the tactical battle. They're winning the physical battle, the individual battles as well. As I say, they're riled. Hearts, I don't think John will be particularly impressed with the way they've played. Hearts can play a lot better than that.
Will John Robertson reshape them, do you think, after the interval?
Well, I think there could be 1 or 2 substitutions. Maybe Pereira coming on for Wyness, who's been quiet. Hamill, who's a decent player on the left. I don't think McAllister's looked comfortable as well. He switched sides with Stamp, so Hamill coming on, but a natural left-sided player is another option for him.
OK, well, there's been very little pressure at all on Rab Douglas in the Celtic goal and for his first league start of the season. But this was good handling from Jimmy McAllister's free kick.
It was. I mean, this is Hearts' only effort on target here, and Hearts players following in. But you have to say, Douglas has been out a long time, a little bit rusty, but he held on to that very, very well. He could easily have spilled that, and Hearts would have got back in the game.
Here's another wrong offside decision given by George Drummond. But you would have to say John Hartson should have put this in any case because he missed it.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just as bad a decision as the first one, because once Alan Thompson cuts inside, Chris Sutton coming back from an offside position, and John Hartson again, not a yard, but at least, as we'll see here from this picture, from this angle here, again, well, I'm giving him 5 yards at him. So why the referee's assistant is giving that offside, and had it been onside, John would have been disappointed it never finished it, but illustrating the poor decisions from the referee's assistants. No, not even a close decision. Sutton coming back, and he should have allowed that to go ahead.
Also illustrating that things could have been a whole lot worse at this stage for Hearts. Here's another chance that Celtic had, and you just wonder as time goes by here today whether they might rue these missed opportunities. This was Petrov on the end of the Sutton cutback, and you expect him to score these.
Well, again, it's the 2 big front guys buttering up the centre-halves, and this is what Hearts didn't have in the first half, Rob. They didn't have the penetration, getting in behind and getting a cutback. Too easy here, as I say. McKenna, for me, not been playing regular at the back, not looking comfortable. And Stilian Petrov, with the way he's playing today in this game and the way he started, he'll be disappointed. For me, he's not hit the target there. But Celtic easily could have had 2 or 3 goals. So I think John Robertson, the Hearts dressing room, was saying, look, lads, we've not performed, we can play better, but if we play like that again in the second half, then we're not going to win this game.
Yeah, and this is probably the moment where John Robertson said, let's get them into the home dressing room, let's give them a talking to, because 4 minutes ahead of half-time, Bobo Baldé missed an absolute sitter.
Yeah, I mean, yourself or I might have tucked this in, maybe you, Rob, but Baldé doesn't score many goals. I think the thankful thing for Hearts' point of view that it was Bobo Baldé at the far post, but that summed up for me Hearts' performance the first half. Nobody taking responsibility. You know, everybody standing there saying, well, I've got my man, who's getting Baldé? Nobody taking the responsibility to say, hey, you pick him up, and lucky that didn't end up in a goal.
Would I be right in saying here that the Hearts have got everything to sort? They're getting battered about at the back, they're getting cut open, they're not keeping the ball or passing it well in midfield, and they're not creating anything at the other end.
Yeah, it doesn't sound good, does it? I mean, their ball retention's been poor. As I say, I think they're dwelling the ball too long at the back, you know, passing it about, allowing Celtic to get back in. They've not got the full-backs forward. When Nielsen and Maybury have got forward, the crosses have been disappointing. So I think John's got a lot of work to do, but, you know, I think he's a good manager, and I think if anybody's going to get them going, then Wee Rob was the man.
Yep, I think the Hearts players will certainly be hearing from him during the half-time interval, and these Hearts fans will hope for a vastly improved second-half performance. The Celtic supporters couldn't ask for too much more so far, maybe another goal or two. They're one up at this stage.
Celtic TV, home of the champions. For only £3 or €5 a month, you can upgrade your Setanta Sports subscription on Sky to include your club's TV channel. See the future. Know your history. Be at the heart. The legends. The glory. For an extra £3 or €5 a month, join the club.
With 8 pages every Saturday and a massive 24 pages every Monday, Super Goals, covering every match played in Scotland. Written by Scotland's award-winning writer and leading columnists, giving you great football analysis and commentary, because we're big in Scottish football. The Scottish Sun, we love it.
Oh shit, oh shit.
Colt, the new small car from Mitsubishi, from just £7,999 on the road.
It's Boxing Day. If it was a boxing match, Celtic would be well ahead on points by this stage. As it is, they lead by a 1-0 at half-time. Aidan McGeady scored it. Reports coming back to us from Tynecastle that Joe Hamill, Craig, was doing a fairly strenuous warm-up during the interval. I don't know if there are any immediate changes, but he and Ramon Pereira are two you would immediately think might just come on at some stage.
Yeah, I mean, I think Hearts have to do something in terms of getting a wee bit more penetration. They didn't... I mean, Rab Douglas, 1 shot to save in the first half. I think from a home side of Hearts stature, that wasn't good enough. So Hamill, who's been left out, has got a point to prove. He'll want to come back in if he does come on and show that wee bit quality, which I think Hearts have been lacking in that final third.
No changes at this stage. Both teams out on the pitch, as you can see. It's 1-0 Celtic so far. Are we going to see a transformed Hearts in the second half? Aidan McGeady has the only goal so far. Back to Mark and Jock.
Thank you, Rob. Yes, all set for the second half, and the omen's not good for Hearts because Celtic have been in front at half-time 15 times this season so far, and they have won on every occasion. They're looking to make it 16 out of 16 this afternoon, so Hearts have a mammoth task ahead in all sorts of ways, and they haven't made any change at half-time. Joe Hamill, the kind of player who could make a difference. He's been very carefully warmed up and may be on very soon. I think one or two players might have been told they have to perform much better at the start of the second half, or they will be in danger of coming off. There's Presley's first header of the second half, done by Lawson. And De Vries trying to make an impact, did so well. This is Stamp. Well, it's a spinning awkward ball off Vargas, behind for the corner. Hearts' first corner of the match.
That's a better start for Hearts, making their intentions clear. The shot well on the 30-yard line. It's deflected wide for Rab Douglas there, but optimistic start for Hearts.
So Jamie McAllister will take this one in swinging, and they'll have another chance.
I think that just sums up Jamie McAllister's game so far. I think he's just been poor today, and I wouldn't be surprised if Hamill will be on shortly.
This time it goes past there, it's won again by Varga. McFarlane going in to challenge Hartson. Petrov did well. This is Wyness looking there for De Vries, won well by Jackie McNamara. McAllister's gone a long way across there, having taken the corner. He's now on his left wing beat, back with Maybury. And a chance now for Hartson to create something on the counter-attack with Sutton. This is Thompson popping up quickly on the left-hand side. Over on the far side is McGeady, but that's good defending by Maybury. Excellent covering and positioning.
Yeah, great position there from Maybury.
Nielsen to McFarlane. This is Stamp. Wyness, good turn. And very good movement from Hartley. Very unlucky there, Paul Hartley. Did so well to get ahead of Wyness to support. It's a careless one by Maybury. Sutton trying to help it on for McGeady. It's not a good clearance either. Thompson again finds McGeady a chance to take on Nielsen. Didn't get too many of these in the first half as it happens, but showing his cleverness again. Not a bad ball either.
Super play there from McGeady, just teasing Nielsen, the fullback. Just a little step over there, a little show of the ball, and then back onto the right foot. I think he just outfoxed everybody there.
Varga and De Vries again together. Lennon so intent on looking at De Vries, almost left that for McAllister. There's Hartson, lovely first touch. Into space it goes for Petrov. That's good understanding again. Chance there for Petrov going through. Well, appeals there for a penalty kick, but that certainly would be an extremely optimistic appeal in the circumstances.
Yeah, great player there, go. A little step over, Petrov getting in there. I think just running right into the back of Stephen Presley there. It's an easy decision for the referee to make.
So that's a throw on the far side to Hearts. Stunned, no doubt, by John Robertson's half-time team talk, which I'm sure would have been very much to the point.
I think, yeah, just getting the ball further forward into the wider areas quicker for Hearts. That's what John will be on about. Get the ball into the box.
Strong play by Maybury, holding off Petrov. Very good movement also. McAllister held up well by Lennon. Well, there is a little more urgency, it would appear, about one or two of the Hearts players at the start of the second half. Looking for some joy as quickly as they can get it, though. Wyness playing it in quickly. That's Vargas' clearance. The layoff from Sutton. That's Lennon. Fine play again from Sutton. Look at the strength here, holding off McKenna. Space now for McGeady. Good play this from Celtic. Thompson goes on the outside. McGeady goes inside. Well, you couldn't grudge him that. Confident play by the 18-year-old.
Great play from Sutton, though. Great vision, great strength. Great first touch from McGeady. Everything good about it, apart from that. Finish was poor. Made himself the space. Just concentrate on hitting the target.
De Vries eased over by Balde. Possession retained by Stamp. This is Maybury. Stamp again. Presley to McFarlane. Hartley playing very deep indeed to get on the ball. Here's Stamp. Awkward, but well taken by Maybury. The layoff from Stamp was a good one, but Winans couldn't collect on the run. Hartson was trying to find Petrov, I think. There's no offside there. Petrov perhaps expecting that. There was an opening for Celtic on that occasion.
He's been superb, Stan Petrov, so far during this game. Ever willing running to get forward and a constant thorn in the Hearts' defence.
McKenna was strong there and got the break of the ball off Hartson. This is Hartley. Now McFarlane. That was well read by Lennon. Good tidying up work again. Scavenging there. Lennon, but why he had to turn and face the Hearts supporters after that, I really don't know. Certainly getting a bit of abuse, but he brings a lot on himself. The way he reacted there. Turning and reacting to the supporters. Not designed to make friends. McGee's pass inside is rather aimless, and Maybury can collect. Good interception made by Balde. Complete lack of penetration so far in the Hearts setup.
As I say, they need to get it further forward in the wider areas and get the ball in. That's a good angle for De Vries and midfield players to support, not from a deep defensive area.
This could change it. Here's De Vries. Oh, couldn't take the ball on the run. Bit of a frustrating afternoon for the big striker. Oh, Nielsen did well. Heavy tackle by Lennon. The advantage rule is applied because McFarlane picked out McAllister. I wonder if the referee may take action against Lennon after the dust settles. Here's Hartley. And McAllister again finding it difficult to play a killing pass. Here's Winans. Well, the Hearts supporters, I think, were hoping to see some action taken against Lennon, but it didn't happen when the ball went into play there. Sutton to Thompson. This is McGeady. It's towards Sutton. He's won it well. That's Hartson! Pulled it wide. A great opportunity for goal number 2.
Fantastic chance again for Celtic to take this game beyond Hearts. Super ball in. Good knockdown. Link-up play's been excellent between these two. But the finish, yet again, failing to make the goalkeeper work.
Well, referee Mike McCurry has got across to the Hearts bench. Now, John Robertson certainly does get substantially overwrought during matches. He wears his heart on his sleeve throughout. And having a debate there with Mike McCurry. Well, he's had too many run-ins, really, John Robertson, with officialdom in his short time here at Tynecastle. I'll have to think about that very carefully. What a warning suffices. Well, he cares deeply, Mark. What about that?
Absolutely, you'd expect him, Martin O'Neill, the same.
Celtic have the throw. The ball carefully dried off there by the manager, Martin O'Neill. Make it easier for the throw for McNamara. Sandwich there. Sutton was the meat. McKenna and Maybury the bread.
A pretty simple, straightforward thing there, though, for the referee. Squashing in there, nowhere for him to go.
Well, perhaps the most effective deliverer of a dead ball in the game in Scotland at the moment, Alan Thompson. And just at that, he lets us all down with a poor one, which almost caused trouble, actually.
Yeah, it's one of the poorest ones from Thompson. It's again a deflection, but could have fell.
Presley forward, there's Stamp. It's a very difficult pass to Nielsen on the run.
It's that ball in again to the advanced player. Defender running past the player with the ball that's being knocked into. And there's not an option to knock the ball back. Very difficult pass to make.
This is Petrov. Well, that's good, strong play, driving inside. McNamara. Hartson holding off Maybury. Well, it's determined play by Maybury. Doesn't like to be messed around. The Dubliner.
I like this young boy. Well, not young boy now, but fully committed player. Knows how to play the game. Won't be messed around.
McAllister playing it long, and there's going to be a change shortly. Tom Ritchie's been warming up again with Joe Hamill, and I wonder if that indicates the imminent arrival. I think it does. Preparing to come on. Here's McGeady. Running straight into McFarlane this time. Another difficult pass to make in a very tight position. Wyness sets that up for Lennon. Here's Sutton. Sutton again. A great opportunity for Petrov for the second, and it's into the side netting. And that may signal the end for Dennis Wyness, I have to say. He was the man who gave the ball to Lennon to start this move off.
Yeah, Hart's guilty of giving the ball away again there, but Sutton just holding everybody off. Great opportunity for Petrov there. Failing to hit the target again.
There's the change. Joe Hamill coming on. Dennis Wyness, who struggled really to make an impact, playing in that withdrawn striker role, supporting De Vries. Hamill's come straight across to the right-hand side. He's a left-footed player, but he's coming to the right-hand side of the midfield. And I wonder if that means a beefing up in that department, or whether Hartley may be released to go forward and support De Vries. We'll see very shortly. Here's Varga. Now Lawson. Presley at full stretch there. It's kept in by Nielsen. Wow, what a fine piece of play that was in a tight situation by a defender.
Yeah, super play there from Nielsen. He's keeping the ball in there. In a dangerous area, it must be said. Right on the touchline there. And then just nodding the ball back to his skipper.
Hartley challenging. That's Stamp. McFarlane. De Vries. Stamp on the run. And very well read that was by Balde. Hearts have it back, swarming all around here, trying to get involved in the build-up play. McAllister's layoff. Stamp taken out by Balde. Well, the Hearts supporters are irate about that challenge and Stamp by Balde. He did appear to go for the ball though.
Couldn't see a lot wrong with
He
that.
won it, in fact.
No, taking the ball clearly.
Not even a foul.
Yeah, his momentum taking him through. Not a lot in that.
Oh, super tackle. Phil Stamp making light of it too. Took a knock, but he's back on his feet. Well, a rare involvement in the match for Rap Douglas in the Celtic goal.
Nice game for him so far to come back into. Had very, very little to do.
Here's Sutton. And now Petrov. Sutton again, trying to hold off McFarlane. McNamara's cross. One there inside the box by Presley. Here's Stamp now playing a more central role in midfield for Hearts. Howell did well. Stamp reacts to the call from the far side from McAllister. Screened it well away from McNamara. Maybury to Stamp again. That's for De Vries. Squatted wide by Varga. It's good standing up defending. And Varga wins the ball again. Stuck this task extremely well this afternoon. Now it's Hartson. Well, they won't run away from the Hearts defence. They'll cause some trouble if they're allowed to get into a shooting position. He wasn't allowed to do that. Well, what about this reorganisation of that midfield now for Hearts? They've got Stamp deeper, Hartley pushing forward.
I think that's right. I think Hartley's more efficient when he's played in an advanced role behind the strikers. Very elusive, good feet, sees a good pass, got a good shot on him as well. I think he could be the key.
Well, it's great movement from Petrov. Look at the position he took up there to receive the pass. Well, a high-energy player of real ability, Petrov. Thompson deceived Presley with a very neat turn there.
I think today Stephen Presley's been guilty of that 99% of the time, getting too close to people. Thompson just feeling clever, just letting the ball run across him, getting himself a simple free kick in a great area.
Celtic probing again for the second goal, which would make life so difficult for Hearts. All the big men are up. And wrestling and barging is going on inside the area there. McKenna and Presley and Varga, Hartson are all jostling and bumping and boring. Tough task this for the officials. Will Petrov have a shot at goal, I wonder? Nope. Wilbur Thompson, and the offside flag was up against Hartson, although he was very well matched by Kevin McKenna all the way.
Half a yard. I think the referee, linesman, getting it spot on there. But great defensive header from McKenna, just in case. But desperate to get that goal, John Hartson has been in, had a number of chances, but has yet failed to make his mark.
Decisive header there, cleared up by Balde ahead of De Vries. It's a very unusual ball that across the face of his own box, and hard work there for Craig Gordon, but it worked out well in the end. A headed pass back, collected by the keeper. Alan Mabley will tell his teammates he had every confidence in them. Oh, good ball from De Vries to Hartley. Chance here for Hearts. It's a great effort there by Hartley.
That's what we're saying about Hartley. Get him in that position there, just behind the strikers, and he has the ability to do that. That's Hart's best effort of the second half so far, inches wide.
Well, that gives Hearts a big boost. Hartley getting some return for his advanced midfield role now. Oh, that's great play by Sutton, and the referee has given an indirect free kick for dangerous play against Sutton for lifting his boot too high there. Well, I think Hearts are lucky.
Yeah, foot's up, heads down. But, referee giving it the defender again. But Mabry just there, just in case.
Hamill to Nielsen. Now Stamped. Hamill again. McKenna available. McKenna settling in now. I thought it was a difficult start to the match, but looks much more comfortable in the second half. Well won by Presley. McGee to Thompson. And Lennon standing up well to that threat. Pass not to the same standard. Target is De Vries. Bartley goes over the top. And he's done extremely well against De Vries. Well, that's clumsy and frustration evident all over De Vries.
Yeah, very, very little service, and what service he's had has been substandard by the least. I think he's just starting to lose the plot a little bit now, De Vries.
Last home goal was against Dunfermline here way back in May. Remarkable. In the league, that is. Scored 4 in 8 matches against Celtic.
Even a few words there with a couple of players around him.
Well, the only real answer to all that is to put the ball in it, isn't it? That's all that
Absolutely.
matters.
So once you start talking, Jock, you lose your concentration, and that's where your game starts to go.
Hamill holding off Lawson, very... McFarlane, good knockdown. De Vries! Well, a decent half chance. Still he wants to debate with Hartley. He is not in good humour this afternoon.
Well, few and far between the chances for De Vries. There's no way he's going to pass that opportunity up. Great run again though from Hartley. Wanting the pass. When you've got a striker like that that's been starved all afternoon, even a half chance like that will be taken on.
Hearts midfield now changed a lot. It's Hamill, Stamped, McFarlane and McAllister. Across the middle with Hartley tucked in behind De Vries. Celtic persisting with exactly the same formation as the one which started. Well, there's no reason to change, is there, Mark?
Absolutely no. Just keep playing away at this. I think the chances will keep coming for Celtic. And I think before time, I think Martin O'Neill, sooner rather than later, will take the second chance when it comes.
Hartley deep again. It's not what he's meant to be now, I don't think. And a new setup. Presley to Hamill. Very good feet, Joe Hamill. Nielsen. Kept in, it wasn't out of play. Ignored by McGeady. The referee wants words with Stephen Presley. And there's a yellow card for Presley, well, I'll tell you.
Super play again there from Sutton, though. The ball's coming into him, he's going nowhere. And Stephen Presley there, just losing his discipline again. Sutton's going nowhere with that ball. He's just got himself the wrong side of Sutton. And Sutton just let the ball come across him. No way can Stephen Presley get to that ball.
Well, I'll tell you, though, from the point of view of the number of infringements compared to, say, Hearts in that first half, these Hearts players really have a grievance, I think. Neil McFarlane first half, now Stephen Presley. Chance for Sutton. There's Petrov! The goal's been coming, and it's delivered by one of the game's outstanding players.
Fantastic goal. Great ball, diagonal ball in. Flick on, them two again. Hartson and Sutton, knock back. Petrov, bang, 2-0. And you would see no way back now for Hearts. That chance has been coming all day long. Super build-up, super interplay. That run into the box. And two keepers wouldn't have got that.
Well, we watched him score an outstanding goal recently at Dunfermline. And there's another, and it's goal number 12 away from home consecutively. His last 12 goals, including this one, all scored away from Celtic Park. What a bonus that is from a midfield player.
It's been outstanding. Outstanding has been from the first whistle up to that goal. Boundless energy in that midfield area. And it's great when you've got players like Hartson and Sutton in front of you as a midfield player. You know that ball 9 times out of 10 is going to be won. And you're going to get your chances.
Presley forward, that's Hamill. Now Hartley on the far side. Space for Maybury. Hartson going back to stifle the threat. And there's McAllister now. What can he do against McNamara? Scramble all across, but to no real purpose. McKenna now to Hamill. Or to McFarlane, rather. Hearts free kick. They need to come back very quickly. They're going to save anything this afternoon. At the far post it goes. Turned across there by Nielsen. Very well indeed. Begging to be put in the net there, but here's Petrov in the counter-attack. Waits for help. They'll get it from the left-hand side from McGeady. Sutton's on the right. Free kick given. The talent challenged by McFarlane on McGeady. Well, the trick of the young man is impressive.
Yeah, just McFarlane done by the skill of the young McGeady. Another free kick in a dangerous area. Thompson. A fantastic delivery. I think we're looking for the big guns at the far post.
Oh, I thought we should have settled it. It's a good ball across. There's Varga! Offside flag was up, but wouldn't have counted. Well, Hearts holding a high line here.
Well, it's onside for me, that. It's level.
Very close indeed. Well, De Vries still getting no joy against Balde and Varga. It's McFarlane. Well, the decision goes Hearts' way. I think that's a break for Hearts.
What a goal this is. Flick on, them two have been at it all day. One to the other, and Petrov breaking between the two strikers as he's done all the game. And a fantastic, fantastic finish. A great skill.
This is Maybury. Well, it's asking too much of Hart play. The break is on now for Celtic. With Thompson, this counter-attacking play proving to be very effective indeed. Well, I tried the chip, I think, on the run. That's a very difficult skill. Once again, Varga standing up well to De Vries, getting some help from Lennon. It's a very impressive overall performance from Celtic. They really are showing championship credentials. And this time, Hartson will be booked.
Yeah, I think to the chill, the Tynecastle support. Hartson just using his body.
There will be a substitution made now. John Hartson is booked, and I think the failure to book him for so long after so many fouls was what gave a sense of injustice to Hearts. But there's Graham Weir, who's coming on to replace Jamie McAllister.
Yeah, I think McAllister's had a poor game. Weir coming on. Lively player through the middle. They were looking for something from him.
Young man who was sent off after coming on as substitute. 5 minutes on the field against Aberdeen, October 2001. He was ordered off. So a fiery little character. He certainly play with a lot of spirit. And certainly Hearts need all that just now if they're going to come back into this match. Varga's header is a good one. That's Petrov. Chested down by Hearts and misread though by Sutton. So Hearts have possession again. De Vries this time, using his right arm to hold off Varga. He's not a happy man.
I think Varga has had a super game playing against De Vries. Two big men coming together.
It was a foul, wasn't it?
Yeah, always a handful De Vries to play against, but Varga has done exceptionally well this afternoon.
Well, it really has been a turn of strength so often for Celtic. Stanislav Varga, after his career, appeared to be going nowhere at Sunderland. Foul by Sutton on Presley.
I think in all departments, I think Celtic have been far stronger. I think central half positions, Petrov in midfield, the front two of Sutton and Hearts have just been far too strong for Hearts.
Another foul committed there in frustration by De Vries. The referee indulgent there too, perhaps giving him a little bit of leeway in all the circumstances. Interesting the way that Neil Lennon just cuts across his bows when he takes that first touch after holding up a centre half. Hartson's turn's great. Now Maybury. Interception by Lennon. Petrov to McNamara. Good play by Weir, excellent play. And McNamara backtracking very effectively for Celtic. It's given away by Varga. Now stamped. Well, it does have a very powerful shot normally, Phil Stamp, but he was never quite balanced for that one.
Body shape was all wrong there from Stamp. I think it's like a lot of players at the moment on the Hearts side, very frustrated with the lack of efforts they're getting. Just completely wrong starting position, body shape, shooting across the ball. Sheer frustration.
Well, the new generation of Hearts fans looking on. John Robertson has a kind of resigned look in his face. I think he knows his team is playing against a better side this afternoon. Simple as that, really. Gordon's clearance helped on by Hartley, straight to Lennon. McKenna getting up well. So did Hartley. That's McFarlane. Presley forward. Here's Hartley. Wants to get involved more and more in the play. He's always wanting the ball. To his great credit. He was fouled by McGeady, but why the play had to stop, I really don't know. And now he won't allow that either because the ball was rolling.
I think the referee feels he has to blow his whistle every 20 seconds at the moment, Joe.
Really did Hearts no favour at all there. Broke up the move. So Hartley can drop back into a more orthodox midfield position now that Weir is supporting DeVries. Well, a good effort there made by Hamill. Was that a corner? Yes. It's been deflected wide.
I think that's what Hearts need at the moment. They need a break. They need something to happen for them. A little bit of luck. Shot coming in there, coming off Varga, that man again, in the right place at the right time.
Well, Hearts desperately looking for a lifeline here. What a difference a goal would make now with a closing phase in the game to come. It's not going to help much. Miscued corner. Nothing happening at all. McKenna stayed forward in a striking position. It's played in by Hamill.
I think he'll be pleased. His comeback game. It's a very little to do indeed. In danger of catching the flu.
Thompson's forward. It's Presley who can let this run or play the ball as he chooses. He decides to let it run. I think he might have been able to play it. The throw in this position is not much of an advantage to Hearts. This time, a free kick foul by Larson on DeVries. So Stephen Presley now will launch the free kick forward. Suggestions now that the Hearts are playing more in hope than expectation. Nielsen did well. Good play by Petrov. Here's McGeady. Held up well by McFarlane. Nielsen still on the deck on the 18-yard line as Hearts still try to come forward. He's back on his feet rather unsteadily. This is Hamill. Maybury met there by McNamara. That's Hamill's cross, a good one. Well, one inside the area by Lawson. Sutton was body checked out of that by McKenna to the fury of Martin O'Neill. McKenna forced to play it back. Well, not auguring too well, in fact, for Hearts, who have looked from time to time a very impressive team, but they've only won 2 of the last 7 matches. It was against Basel and at Dunfermline. They've only won 1 of the last 5 league games. It's worrying for John Robertson. Nielsen plates it in. It's won well by Varga. And down goes De Vries. He was caught by Larsson. And De Vries is yellow carded for diving.
I think that sums.
Yeah, De Vries Killiams will wait to see the camera angle on this. He was caught, all right. He was caught.
Yeah, just caught right at the beginning of that, right on the foot. And a guy that big, a little tap like that on the side of the foot will bring you down. But that just sums De Vries' afternoon up.
Well, I don't think there's much doubt about this. There he's caught.
Yeah, just caught on the side of the leg.
Well, he's told the referee to check it on television, and if he does that, he may have a thought in his mind.
And the referee's just told him who's in charge.
They really have been harbouring that sense of injustice throughout the match, Hearts. It hasn't served them well, though.
At a crucial time as well, John. 81st minute. Got to give everybody a chance.
Another foul by Hudson, and a free kick to Hearts. Paul Hart, they still having a debate with the referee. So Craig Gordon now with this free kick for Hearts. Lawson strong against De Vries once again. And De Vries throwing his man off the ball. He's living dangerously now, De Vries, with that yellow card. Got to keep his discipline now.
Yeah, doesn't want to be given that red card. Team miss out. Suspension. Hearts need him.
This time it's a free kick to Celtic, fouled by Presley and Sutton. Short free kick this time. Thompson to McGeady. Past one, can he get past the other? No, he's been crowded out there. Hartley concedes the corner. It's a throw in fact. The referee's now clarified that. So Lawson with a throw. Won by Nielsen. Lawson again driving against Hartley. This is Lennon still upsetting opposing supporters. This is Stamp. And now Maybury. It's the kind of performance from Celtic which does win championships, Mark, coming to a place like this and winning in this fashion.
Yeah, I think right from the first whistle, Celtic made the mark. They said they were not going to be messed around in this game. Getting plenty of people forward to support, being positive. And they've been by far the stronger side.
Lovely little knockdown there by Sutton for Hearts, and that's for Sutton again. The angle was tight.
A super play again from Hartson and Sutton. Been outstanding, these pair. Yeah, criticism of two big players playing together, but these two do it superbly.
Hartley again. This is De Vries. Setting up Hartley. Nielsen's the only option. The angle cross, won well by Baldy. Breaking the ball, almost fell for Weir. That was Lennon. So Robbie Nielsen, who's never stopped trying right from the start of the match. In fairness to Hearts, they can't be faulted in the score of effort. They just found themselves against a better side this afternoon. Here's McKenna. And now it's back with Neil McFarlane. That's towards De Vries, a very good ball. Well, he tried to angle that towards Stamp. Good handling by Douglas.
That's better play. Farnham, just a great ball into the far post. That's the first time that De Vries has got into an area where he's peeled off the centre half, created that space for the knockback. Grant Douglas just dropping on the ball.
Presley up early. Hartson thought he was fouled, the referee didn't think so. Hartley now to Weir. Space on the left for Maybury. Mistake made by Hartley, allowing Thompson now to break on the Hearts back four with help from McGeady on the left. Past one, can he go past the second? Yes, he can. That's a very good save by Gorton, but delightful wing play again by young McGeady.
Yeah, super play from McGeady. Let the ball into the near post. Thompson just getting himself in there. Gordon making the save.
Ori Kamara. Is he coming on, or is he bringing his kick back on? It looks like it. They've changed their mind, I think. They're going to bring him on, but now perhaps they're not. This is Thompson. McGeady's offside. Well, fascinating performances from Celtic. Very impressive indeed. I suspect the man of the match may come from there.
Yeah, impressive throughout, right from the back. Stan Varga, the front two, Hearts and Sutton. But my Bank of Scotland man of the match is Stan Petrov. A hand in the first goal and a sublime second goal to give his side the victory.
So, Stan Petrov, the Bank of Scotland man of the match. And very hard to argue with that. Created the first, scored the second.
Just played throughout, Jock, with unbelievable high energy play, enthusiasm.
This is Robbie Nielsen. Free kick's been given there to Hearts, right on the touchline.
There's Petrov just chasing back there. I think that just typifies his team's performance. It's been non-stop, especially from that man.
So the free kick to be taken by Joe Hamill. And there it goes, won by Varga. There he goes again. It's a very fine match in defence. This is McGeady, and Sutton wants the ball played forward. He's got a chance here, and Gordon came to meet him. Empty goal for Hartson. Oh, that's a terrific goal line saved by Hamill. And Hartson can't believe it.
What a defensive header that was from Hamill. John Hartson, I think he's just going to go over and tap him on the head. Yeah, a great little gesture. Fantastic. It was goal bound, but Hamill didn't give up. Got his head on it. Great little gesture between the two there.
Well, had it been all square, or had there been a goal down, that would have been something, wouldn't it? Well, they won't affect the outcome, but it's a terrific play by Hamill. Well, they wanted the 10-yard rule applied to the two defenders. Then by Thompson, that's Hartson. Wanted more time than De Vries would allow. McGeady. Nowhere to go there as Nielsen closed in. That's De Vries. Back it comes now to Presley. McFarlane. De Vries very deep now. That's so unusual for him. On the far side's Maybury. Stumbled by Stamp. That's great play by Maybury. Such determination shown right to the end of the match. Well did McNamara. And Weir went in late on McNamara. That was a bit nasty, that one. Lennon wants to go and debate that one too. Well, the referee will take action here. Once again, Lennon has to be involved.
Gets himself across there. Just catching McNamara where they're right on the toe and the follow through. It's a sore one. But to be fair, McNamara straight onto his feet.
Yeah, booking for Graham Weir. Perhaps another indication of frustration in the Hearts ranks. McNamara, to his great credit, made light of that. Lennon was more animated. 2 additional minutes will be added on at the end of the game. And I don't think even Hearts were looking for anything at all. I think they know now the die is cast. Here's a chance though for Hartson for the third. Oh, great play! And the finish, so uncharacteristic. You can't believe it. Well, that said, there would have been no more than Celtic deserved. At the other end too, Weir and De Vries battling hard. That came off McFarlane from Nielsen. Throw it is to Celtic.
Hartson doing everything right there, just flicking it back on, taking his time. Gordon, great save, but he'll be bitterly disappointed. Could have had a hat-trick today. There's bags of chances. It's just not been his day.
Scored 17 times this season so far. That looks certain to be number 18. Give credit though to Craig Gordon, who stood up. He was big on his line there to make that difficult. Back to McFarlane. Now Nielsen. Varga again. Maggie, but he's crossing the box this afternoon, it appears. McFarlane, helped on by Nielsen. Credit to Hearts, are still coming forward. Skewed header by Baldy, falls kindly for Celtic to Lennon. That's McGeady, and now Lawson. Bit of wrestling going on there off the ball, Presley and Sutton. No action will be taken because the final whistle has gone. It's been a thoroughly impressive Celtic performance, but the most impressive player was Stilian Petrov. He was outstanding, made the first after 9 minutes for Aidan McGeady, and then scored a wonderful second after 68 minutes. McGeady too, very impressive. Hearts found themselves battling against something of a brick wall in defence with Baldi and Varga in particular. So dominant. It really has been a first-class Celtic performance.
Absolutely, I think by all accounts it could have been 4 or 5. Such were the chances that Celtic have had. Lennon, Stadius in his work again. De Vries, never his day. I think it's just been on the chat all day, not on the concentration. McGeady, all the tricks, but Celtic, from start to finish, by far the stronger.
Well, let's check in these goals. They were very well worth watching again. McNamara's pass found Petrov, and that's a deadly finish by young McGeady on his left foot. Very impressive play. But how about this for a finish from Stilian Petrov? Almost burst the net. Great build-up play from Celtic. A superb finish by Petrov, and they thoroughly deserve this victory, which carries on the championship challenge. Final score at Tynecastle: Hearts 0, Celtic 2.
Celtic TV, home of the champions. For only £3 or €5 a month, you can upgrade your Setanta Sports subscription on Sky to include your club's TV channel. See the future. Know your history. Be at the heart. The legends. The glory. For an extra £3 or €5 a month, join the club.
The new Mitsubishi Grandis. You won't want to drive anything else.
With 8 pages every Saturday and a massive 24 pages every Monday, Super Goals, covering every match played in Scotland. Written by Scotland's award-winning writer and leading columnists, giving you great football analysis and commentary, because we're big in Scottish football. The Scottish Sun, we love it.
Festive cheer for Celtic. It's 4 points again between Celtic and Rangers at the top of the SPL. No Christmas comfort for Hearts. They stay in 6th spot. It finished 2-0 at Tynecastle. Aidan McGeady and Stilian Petrov scored the goals. Petrov was the man of the match, and here he is.
Stilian, can you describe that win for us today, please?
Well, I could score earlier. I had a few chances before that. You know, I just tried to make my runs in the box, and I had two big strikers today, Chris and John, who can, you know, everything go well for them, just flicks and everything. But Chris, a long ball from Ulrich, and then Chris just great layoff, and I just prepared myself and took the shot.
Now, another away goal. I said to you a couple of weeks ago you had a lot of away goals. I think it's like 12 in a row now. Is that how does that happen when you're not scoring at home but you're scoring so much away?
I know, like I said before, a lot of people expect the goals to be more comfortable in the home games. But for us and the team, it's not about who's scoring the goals. It's about a team performance. That's what we've done today. We play very well from the back to the front. You know, everybody was prepared for that kind of game. We knew it was going to be a hard game, but at the end of the day, the important thing is 3 points.
Was it one of those games where everything just clicked together because you were solid from back to front and also creative?
Yeah, we try to play. You know, we put the ball on the ground, and we try to pass the ball, try to create as many chances as we can. Could be a different result if we score all our chances.
Well, you did have a lot of chances and a lot of good play, and we can actually see some of that now. As far as your goal was concerned, how did you see that? How did that come?
I've got, like I say, 2 great strikers, you know, and you always expect them to hold the ball and to put you through in the box, and just I try to make the runs, and sometimes go in, sometimes don't, but today went in again.
The setup for McGeady, did you see him coming in the back post? Did you look there?
To be honest, I tried to take the shot. McGeady was in a great position and he scored a great goal.
It's not a bad strike, is it? That?
It's just, I think it's a little bit lucky one, but it was a nice one.
Be particularly aggressive today, which it always is at Tynecastle.
Yeah, like I don't think any team like to come in this ground to play hard and a boxing game. So we prepared ourselves. We knew it's going to be hard. We were concentrating from the start, and we tried to score early goal to calm our nerves.
Does this performance now give you the momentum to go forward and to carry on there at the top of the league?
Yeah, it's always good when you're top in the league. It's not a big gap. It's only 1 point, you know. So we just try to keep winning, and we'll see what's going to happen.
Of course, with a performance like that, Stilian, it's important that you do keep the players together, and you'll be hoping that does stay that same way.
We've been always together, even when the results didn't go for us. We knew that we're going to pass that time, and we started doing well, like today. So we were together all the way, and we tried to win the league.
But does the transfer window worry you in that case?
Oh, we always been saying it's always nice to see new faces, but at the end of the day, it's a board decision. It would be nice to see some new faces.
Stilian, it was a difficult choice today for man of the match for the Celtic team, but you deserved to win it, and there you go. There's your champagne, man of the match. Well done.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah, played well. 4 straight wins for Celtic in the SPL, and in all competitions, it's 4 consecutive clean sheets. That's something they'll take a fair bit of pride in. And they, going into 2005, will now definitely lead the way. Nothing that can happen between now and then will change that. Rangers, of course, are at home to Motherwell tomorrow. If they win there, all they will do is close the gap back to a single point. As for Hearts, how will they look at that today, I wonder? Outclassed, outplayed, outsmarted? Craig, I guess it's take your pick.
Yeah, I don't think John Robertson will be particularly pleased with Hearts' performance today, but I have to say, I thought Celtic were somewhere near back to their best there. I thought the performance today was excellent against a very difficult side to play against. At Hearts, a difficult place to go to. So it'll be interesting to see what John's take on this game is.
Well, let's find out, because Hearts have won only 2 of their last 8. Here he is.
John, what were the main problems today? Just the fact that Celtic were too good, maybe?
Well, they showed their quality. As I say, to beat the Old Firm, you need 3 things. You need to play very, very well yourself. You need Celtic not to be quite firing all cylinders, and you need a bit of luck. And today Celtic played very well, and there was 1 or 2 breaks that went for either side that they got, but the 2 goals, magnificent finishes, and the little bit extra quality that they have, especially in the front 2, showed through today.
Now again, a little bit of controversy with referee decisions and you, as far as you're concerned, Robbo. What do you think about this?
Well, we thought at the time it was a penalty kick. Mark was convinced with it, and there you are. You see they've lost some clips on the back of the heel, incredibly. Mark gets booked for diving, but the referee said he would apologise if he got it wrong, so he's maybe due Mark an apology. But these things, as I say, you need a wee break. We didn't get them today in instances like that, but I don't think that denies the fact that probably, you have to admit, on the day, the best team won.
But it did seem at times that the Hearts players were getting booked a little bit more readily than the Celtic players. There were a number of fouls on the other side. Well,
that's what concerns you. You know, there's Graham Weir was booked for what the referee assumed was a late tackle, but there was a couple that came from the other side that weren't punished. But again, that's nitpicking. You know, I thought Mike McCurry handled the game well today. It was a physical match, and both strikers in either team were ruffling up the opposition defenders. So that's the way it is. Football is physical, and he calls it as he sees it. And as I said, today 1 or 2 breaks didn't go our way.
Do you feel that the approach to the game and the tactics were right for the game today?
Yeah, as I said, we're trying to change our style. We're trying to get about teams when they get the ball, and in the first half especially, you know, there's been 1 goal. It's a bit of a miss hit for still in, but it's a tremendous finish from Aiden. And that was the difference between the 2 teams. And we wanted to be a bit more clinical, a bit better quality in the last third, and that's what we need to do. Get our quality up. As I say, the second goal is a tremendous finish. You just don't save them. But that's what happens when you put the ball into good areas, and it's something we have to work on.
Well, that's something you can see now here, John, and obviously the defence has been a very strong point for you this season, especially at home. Probably the best defensive record in Britain at the moment. Yeah, well, as we said there, that we thought possibly that there might have been a foul on Kevin, but from then on, you see still in there goes for a cross shot, and I tell you what, that's
Sutton, and it was the side net.
Again, I mean, we're just talking about the chances for Celtic all the time, because they were the side that showed any real quality when they got in the final third. Chris Sutton shows good composure. Petrov again busting.